Today's video is going to discuss Mother's Day, her birthday, and other holidays when it comes to being a single dad and how I think you should approach them. What's going on, guys? So again, introducing to today's video, especially since today is Mother's Day, I kind of want to discuss this because it's probably not something you really hear very often or has even crossed your mind. So I feel like when you're a single dad and like you go through the custody battle part of it, you go through separation, I think it's really hard as far as like your pride is to kind of put your pride and your feelings aside. But I just want to come from the standpoint of my main focus as a dad has always been on what's best for my son and doing the things that are going to help him grow emotionally and physically, obviously. But this is a topic that you probably don't hear about very often. Even like during like my heavy toxic relationship days of things not going well, this is how I address holidays like today and Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. Is first and foremost, like, you need to be able to put your pride aside. Where like I feel like where most men go wrong is that when they go to family court and all that, they try to kind of like demonize the mother of their child and kind of make them look bad so that they can get the upper hand. And some men just aren't emotionally strong enough to be able to put that pride aside. But this video is kind of describe how I did it. So first and foremost, like, regardless of how the relationship ended, when I look at my child, I realize how blessed I am because I have him. And for me, I realize that even through the bad times and even through the stuff that I'm angry about, my son would not be here if it was not for her. So even if I went through bad times and painful times and stuff like that, my son exists because of her. So when I look at my son, I'm like, he's 50% me, he's 50% her, but I love him 100%. So I take my son's feelings into consideration. Even when they're young, like, they don't really realize what's happening. So like, they won't really realize what you're doing until you're older. And honestly, you'll be good in better light with them. So like, I've always done for my son's mother's birthdays and holidays like this, I've always made sure that I've gotten a gift from my son to her, regardless of what was going on. Even if it's something as simple as like just a Mother's Day card or like a potted flower or something like that. And just something small and like aimed towards being a mother. Like, I think things like that, regardless of like what your relationship was with that mother, like, it makes your kid realize that you respect the relationship. Because regardless of your personal feelings towards them, like, to your child, they love their mother. They love mom. They don't know the personal stories that you guys have, the personal animosities that you guys have. They only know that they love dad and they love mom. So if you can be the person that kind of helps build that relationship, and you can kind of like respect that relationship and let them be able to show their love towards their mom. Because honestly, like, if one of the things I learned early on in my childhood, my child custody battle, was you need to be able to finally turn down the temperature when it comes to the whole situation, because it is a very vitriol, a very hard thing to go through. And if at any point you can be the person that kind of cools down the temperature of how things are going, then that's good on you. And like today, like, I got my son and I, we bought his mom like a little trinket, and we bought her some sunflowers, not like the actual flowers, but like the seeds, so that they could grow them together. And we got her a card. And it's stuff like that that kind of builds that, like, and eventually, like, your goal is to be co-parenting and like be able to give your child the best life that they possibly can have. And the best way to do that is for you to have at least a respectable relationship. And I know that's hard because a lot of times if you're going through a separation or a divorce or a custody battle, it's because of your personal feelings and the demons that you have to be able to get through, because that time is not easy, and it's definitely not easy like buying that stuff. But again, like, your child needs to be the focus, and to be able to focus on your child and to kind of um like help that relationship build, and have your child realize that you respect the fact that, like, that mother child relationship, I think that is huge. And I think that that will go miles, because you're not only just living in the moment, you're not just getting like them a gift, you're also building what your child believes is right and wrong. And the reason why I say that is because they'll grow up and they'll see that the respect that you have for the mother, regardless of what happened, that you were always able to put your child, above any of it. And the reason why I think that's important too is because one day your children are going to be parents. And what kind of example do you want to set for your kids? Do you want your kids to have this negative connotation of what a relationship is and how you should act when it ends? So that's where the end goal is like, you teach your child right from wrong. And I see this too much where, like, again, the parents try to use the kid as like as the weapon between the two, and like they try to use tactics that will make the other parent look bad in the child's eyes. And honestly, I think that if you're that type of parent, or the type of parents that do that, I think that they're doing more harm than they're doing good. And especially, like, I think the person they're doing the most harm to is themselves, because honestly, like, that might work when they're young and they're impressionable and they don't know right from wrong. But as they eventually grow and they learn who each parent is, they'll understand that, hey, my dad shouldn't have been talking about my mom like this, or my mom shouldn't have been talking about my dad like this. And then they'll end up resenting the person that's providing the message of that negativity. So you got to stop being short-sighted when it comes to these things. Love your child, like, bloom those relationships, like, allow them to have the best of both parents. So that's all I really wanted to say today, is like, on these kind of days, like, you don't have to go all out, you don't have to buy gifts for them like you did when you were together, but just do little tiny things that let your child feel good about giving the other parent a gift. And I think you'll see dividends of how good that makes a relationship better, and eventually it makes the things better for you. So that's what I wanted to get for you guys today. Again, just think about your child, try to get over the pride part of it, and try to build that relationship so that you can have peace in your life. Because honestly, I'm at a point where my co-parenting is amazing and there's peace in my life, and there's no price that I can tell you there's no amount of money that I would take that would replace peace in my life. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like, let me know your ideas, how you approach this. Please comment below. If you like this video, please like, please share, and please subscribe. May God bless you and have a great day.